definitely in the relatively near future, he robots. In some way, oh, there's a salt truck. It's interesting that the salt's blue. I don't know if they dye it now or that's some kind of bougie West Bloomfield salt. Anyway, much better. The road's much, much better here, right? And I think potentially there's less snow.
As we go southwest.
Yeah. But it's still pretty. I love evergreens with snow on them. Anyways, so that's an interesting concept when you think about it. People marrying a robot. So let's say you could program a robot to be your perfect match. You're never going to have an argument. You have sex anytime you want. They clean your house. They do everything you want. Male or female, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they're fake. Would you want that? I don't know. Boring? No? I don't know. That's an interesting concept, is it? What do you think? I don't think I would want that. Maybe. I don't know if we get to program that they're rich. I always want to buy my husband things, and I wonder if... So that's the question. This is going to make a good short. If you could program a robot that was very realistic in terms of physically, it could be physically what you want. It could be able to satisfy you sexually, financially, clean your house, drive, all of those things. But you knew it was a robot. Would you want that compared to a human being? I don't know. It's a very interesting question, isn't it? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Well, I might not. Maybe not in my lifetime, but some of you younger people. I don't know. You know, you hear these things about young men being lonely and the way the internet has isolated them. You know, the whole Andrew Tate, all that crazy stuff. I'm not going to get into it. Go look it up if you want. But, you know, does that set people up for wanting the easy route of a robotic partner? I don't know. Certainly there's been enough science fiction discussing it. You know, robots to clean, robots to partner with. I guess one of the things is, when you think about it, eventually they may solve it, but, you know, if you could have all of that, but the robot wasn't able to procreate, and you couldn't have kids, but you could have that perfect partner, would you want that? Here we are in Birmingham, Michigan. Again, we're taking M1 rather than I-75 because of the snow this morning. So thought people may want to see the route on Woodward Avenue in the snow as opposed to Dream Cruise. Oh, there's the police. They don't fancy cars anymore. I saw a cop the other day. I had to slow down when I saw him. There's a fair amount of them now that drive pickup trucks. Birmingham is lovely. It's a lovely little town. Not so much on New Woodward, but they have what they call Old Woodward, which is over there. And when you go up there, it's very classic beauty and, you know, lovely restaurants. And very nice. So anyways, back to our robots. So now you can have this perfect partner, but you're never going to have kids if you stay with this robot. Interesting question. I don't know. What do you think? Add in, if you could have the perfect partner but never have kids, and you knew they were a robot, would you do it? I wouldn't do it. When I sit here and think about it, I wouldn't do it. I kind of get it. I can get why someone would want to do it, especially if you've been very hurt. If someone has hurt you with infidelity or cruelty or any of those things, you know, a robot might start looking good. Okay, so let's add to the question. Now you've got a robot partner that you know is a robot, but you can set it that no one else will know it's a robot. That scenario, as opposed to you've got a robot partner and everyone knows there's a robot. Does that make a difference? What other people know and think? I think you're more likely to do it if no one knows it's a robot but you. But then that would be hard to take too, because, you know, are they going to find out? Are they going to think less of me? A lot of the buying decisions and decisions we make in life are based on how it affects our social status. So if being with a robot partner affects our social status, it's less likely. If it doesn't impact our social status, it's more likely, I think, that people would do it. But then, like everything else, you know, once it becomes commonplace, then people will just do it. I think maybe that'll reduce world population, and maybe that'll be good. I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, Elon Musk seems to think we're underpopulated. There are certainly people that think we're overpopulated. I guess they make arguments for either one. Okay, so we're at 13 Mile now. I don't know the name of 13 Mile, or if it has an alternate name, it's just 13 Mile. So there is, back in this plaza, which has really built up. Wow, they've built a hotel and everything. So at 13 in Woodward, there is a Kroger, no, pardon me, not a Kroger, a Meijer corner market. And the Meijer corner market there has no cashiers. Everything is automated. And I guess that's going to become more and more commonplace. There's the chicken shack. There's a donut place up here. I did a video before with this donut place called the Donut Cutter. I think they're closed on Sundays. A lot of good donut places are closed on Sundays. That's kind of a funny tradition when you think about it. It's a perfect day to go get donuts. I think that they'd be better off to be closed on Monday. Oh, look at a real Christmas tree store. Isn't that pretty? I wonder how many people still get real Christmas trees. That'd be an interesting statistic, wouldn't it? I love them, but I did a live last night decorating the tree, and I told a story of, I remember when I was a kid, my mom and dad took us, we were in Northern Ontario, Canada, and we went to this place. They were having a Christmas party, and they had a real tree, you know, in a pot of water, and they had, rather than Christmas lights, now this is a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. Anyway, they had clips, and on each clip, they had a beeswax candle, and that was what lit their tree. All these beeswax candles. It was crazy. I'm like, wow, you talk about fire hazard. Holy. But I think like a zillion years, oh, there's Donut Cutter, guys. So that's like 12 Mile area. Great Detroit tradition. All right. So, anyway, here we are cruising Woodward in the snow. Not near as much fun as in the summer. Yeah, so they had this, Vincetta Garage. That is an amazing place to eat. Best mac and cheese ever. So, getting into Royal Oak now. And then we get into 8 Mile, which is Eminem stomping grounds. Or used to be. Don't know if he still hangs out there. I imagine he goes once in a while. I saw that he did a big charity coat giveaway in Detroit yesterday. That's Eminem's charity coat giveaway for kids in Detroit yesterday. Everything I hear about him is that he is an incredibly generous guy. I think when people have... there's a Maserati. Not what I envision as a Maserati, but it is one. I think when people have suffered like he did, and they make it, so to speak, they tend to be generous. So, all right, so we are going into Huntington Woods, Michigan area on Woodward Avenue, which is M1. For those that weren't here earlier, I was sharing that M1 is the oldest and first paved road in the United States of America, which is appropriate since this is the birthplace of the car. There's a lot of impact still in the area. I mean, the history of the car is very prominent in this area. There's some beautiful homes and neighborhoods and all built by the car industry. And so maybe I'll do a live down there one day. I'll go and I will share the Michigan Central train station, which the Ford Motor Company has redone as a tech center, which is just wonderful because it would have been a shame to lose it. It's a really cool place. And the pictures I've seen show the interior as just beautiful. So who knows, maybe I'll get down there and do a live down there. I think they're doing a Christmas market right now. Looks great. All right. There is the water tower for the Detroit Zoo. And anyone local knows that means you're at 696. And this big dip in the road here is Woodward going under 696 and 10 Mile Road, right? Kind of. Sorry about the bumping. It's just me holding. And for anyone that is wondering, no, I'm not driving. No, I'm not. I'm just a passenger. And I thought people may want to see Woodward Avenue if they're not from the area and they know the history of Woodward Avenue. What it looks like. Wow. Sorry, this is really bumpy. I'm trying to stop it. We're getting there though. I think it'll be better once we get off this little stretch. So you know that Woodward Avenue is bumpy. If you were wondering, there's your indication. So now we're coming into Huntington Woods. Oh, and here the road gets better right here. There. So I think what comes after Huntington Woods is Royal Oak. No, Ferndale? Detroit.
That might be part of Ferndale. Yep, there might be a little sliver in there.
Yeah. So, because Ferndale's 9 Mile.
Yeah, and Detroit's 8.
And Detroit is 8. And Ferndale's a cool little place. So it really has come back, if you will, as a little kitschy, trendy place. I think it's because the property values dropped so low that it created an opportunity for families to get homes in Ferndale. And, the more families that came, the more improvement came. They revitalized it. It's a really fun place. I think during Dream Cruise, isn't this where Mustang Alley usually is?
Yeah.
Down at 9 Mile? So that's just right up here at this corner. They do Mustang Alley. So for those of you that are big Mustang fans and you've heard of Mustang Alley, it's typically right here in Ferndale, just off of Woodward on 9 Mile. And then usually they'll close this whole 9-mile road during that time. And you can walk and go see the little shops they've created and the art installations. It's really cool. It's definitely worth coming. So I'm still learning this, getting going live. I just like it. I don't know all these little, open this, close this, do this. I don't know. So, all right. So here we are, Woodward Avenue, just before 8 Mile. And see, this is an interesting spot for me. And I'm going to say this because my husband, there is an overpass. But what I do on snowy days when I take Woodward is I go to the right and I go straight through, so I don't have to go on the overpass, because I'm a scaredy cat most of the time when it comes to driving. And oh, look at that little place, Little Ghost.
New restaurant.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it? It's funny, that church there, one of the things that Detroit has an abundance of on Woodward Avenue is churches. And beautiful churches. There's a church up here that is the place where Gordie Howe's funeral was. And it is spectacular. And it's in a relatively, I don't know what to say. It's in a district that has had better times. Let's be diplomatic. Depressed. You hate to say that, because I know there's so many people working so hard on bringing the entire city back. But this particular area has definitely had better days. Can we say that without being defeatist? Anyways, I'll show you that church, because I said we're going to carry this all the way down and into Detroit so you can enjoy the ride. I said 7 Mile, but as long as I'm not driving my husband too crazy, I think we'll go the whole way, because you get to go by the Fox Theater and all these cool things. This is a neat area. So this is 8 Mile. This used to be the Michigan State Fairgrounds. And I can't remember who the developers were, but they brought this back. We just drove over 8 Mile, by the way, for those of you that are Eminem fans. Anyway, so where the State Fairgrounds used to be, I believe this was one of the entrances here. These developers, as it was abandoned, they brought it back and made it a strip mall of sorts. There's a big Meijer in that location. That's a cool little place. And it really was helpful in that there had been, they call it the, oh goodness, what's the term? A food desert in Detroit proper. You could go miles and the only thing you could get was like a 7-Eleven for your food. There was no groceries. So this was a big deal. And I like to think it's been a very good addition for the area to have a Meijer, which is a Michigan company, and, have real food options, healthy food options. I gotta believe that's gonna help people. So, you already know I'm a donut fan if you've been hanging around for a hot minute. And one of my favorite donut places is coming up here too. So there you go. Dutch Girl Donuts, Detroit icon. Oh, they might be open today. Oh, that's exciting. I don't need a donut though. We're going out for breakfast. So I believe that's a golf club. Not sure. Or a park. It's kind of a weird day. The visibility seems relatively low, but it's not snowing super hard. It's just poop. That's not the word I really wanted to say, but you get the idea. I am not a fan of winter. I am so This is in the city proper, where you're seeing all this forested area, which is kind of cool, right? I mentioned earlier that Mayor Dugan, who's one of my heroes from what I know about him, It's tennis courts. Has facilitated the removal and demolition of 24,000 buildings in Detroit in his tenure. And, you know, just the change that makes in neighborhoods. And there's such beautiful architecture in Detroit. This is Palmer Park. And we're just about to the Model T building. This sign up here, you can't see it, but anyways, it was for a, they call it a gentleman's club, which, you know, there's the reality of everywhere. But I don't know if they're really gentlemen, but you know, a men's club we'll call it, where there's ladies dancing that are scantily clad, and they used to have a sign, and I know other places have had the same sign, but it's kind of cute. It was, you know, 99 beautiful women and one ugly one, which is kind of terrible, but kind of funny. It makes me giggle a little bit. All right, so just up here on the left, past this overpass, is the original Model T plant. Oh, look at that, Joe Louis Greenway. That's cool. I think that's a part of the Rails to Trails program. So there's a little tiny sign. I don't think you can see it, but that green sign, that talks about this being the Model T plant. You can see how dilapidated it is. Like I say, come on, Ford Motor, fix it, save it, save it. Back there, I believe, is the Packer plant. I'm not sure, I can't remember. So you can see Model T Plaza, big impact. And really, this is just about the most challenged area of Detroit. Oops, sorry. And then all of a sudden you get into Midtown, which has, you know, had a huge revitalization and really cool area. Again, it's funny, you know, when I think about it, the places where the artists come and the people that want to contribute and really take it as a small community, once that happens, the revitalization starts. So, you know, I think the artist groups, this is just me, blue sky in here. Oh, look at those cool old buildings. They have less money, so they go for the cheap real estate. Then they're there and they beautify, and then other people follow. Look at the graffiti in this old building, abandoned, all burnt out. Doesn't look like a war zone in some areas. There's no fight in that. Anyway, so I think they, you know, the artistic groups come and they get the cheap real estate and they beautify, and it begins to revitalize, and everything follows from there. This is Highland Park. So we are approaching the church I told you about. This is where Gordie Howe, his funeral was. And it is spectacular. Challenged or depressed area. Normandy Hotel. Safe, clean, and quiet. I'm good, but you know, you might want to stay there. Anyways, there is the church. And I happened to be driving by here on the day that they had his funeral, and all of these streets were packed. But isn't that something? Isn't that beautiful? We have a green light, so we're just gonna see the Cathedral of the Most Blessed Sacrament. I'm sure someone must do a church tour of Detroit because they're spectacular. This is, I believe this district is called Boston-Edison. Beautiful, beautiful homes. I believe they used to be automotive executives lived in this area. A lot of them became abandoned, but people have revitalized them because they're just so pretty. It's kind of a neat program. Do you see that flashing light on the top? That's for people when you're looking for safe haven if you have an issue. The City of Detroit instituted, here's some more churches. The City of Detroit instituted those green flashing lights so people knew they had a safe place to go, places that were open. This here, I always admire this building. This is a synagogue. Really cool place. Another church. I mean, how many people did they have to go to all these churches, right? Another church. These are big, big installations. These are not little churches. Imagine. Isn't that pretty? So, coming up here, we also, this is a neat place too, Detroit People's Food Co-op. Again, addressing the issue of, there's the turkey grill. Another church. Addressing the issue of food deserts in the city of Detroit. It's great to see good food choices for people. It's kind of where health starts. Up here on the left, I think this is the spot, or it might be a little closer into the city. There's a Whole Foods that came to the city. This is cool. So this is the Penske Tech Center, and this is for the tram that runs in the city. It's not the People Mover. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. But basically, they're streetcars. And this is the garage, the Penske Tech Center. So we are at Woodward and Lothrop. Not sure what that building is, although I think it could be the Fisher building. This cross street up here might be West Grand. No. Let's see. I know it's a major crossing. Let's see what it is. Grand Boulevard West. I was close. No, that's not the Fisher, but I don't know what it is. It's obviously been there a while. Alright, what else we got? So that's kind of cool. Stevie Wonder Avenue. Stevie Wonder was from Detroit. Alright, so these are, oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't think of the name of the streetcar system. It's kind of neat because if people come in from the suburbs and they're going to events in Detroit, they can park further out and then take it in. I know it's called the Q, but I don't know if that's the name I'm thinking of. So, the city of Detroit has done a great job, like a number of other urban centers, where they have brought a lot of the sports entertainment in particular all to within a few blocks of each other. So Little Caesars Arena, Ford Field, and Comerica Park are all within 1 mile at the very, very most. I don't even think they're that far apart. So we are going to be coming up to Little Caesars Arena in just a bit here. There's another beautiful Detroit church. Again, who are all these people? I think Detroit at its peak had like 9 million citizens or something. Not so much anymore, but it has increased. The population has increased. That's what we were sharing this morning about Mayor Dugan's exit interview, or debrief, if you will. The population of the city of Detroit increased under his leadership, which had not happened for a very long time. So I think one of the other things that's happened that's really, I would suggest he was involved in, and I'm sure many other people, including the governor, but they've brought educational institutions. Wayne State has always been downtown and done a wonderful job of supporting the downtown community. But University of Michigan has a campus downtown Detroit now. Michigan State University has a campus downtown now. So, educational institutions and young people are always good for the vibrancy of a city. Oh, look. Detroit Historical Museum's got a Detroit Red Wings history. It is their 100th anniversary this year. This is Detroit Institute of Arts. If you haven't been there and you come to Detroit, do take the time. It's a very cool place. Look at that architecture. Isn't that beautiful? I feel like my mom and dad, they don't make them like that anymore. Which they truly don't. Oh, guess what? More churches. Oh, wait, what's that? Another church. Seriously, it's crazy. So, the young people came for education, then the apartments came, then the different stores came, and before you know it, Detroit's on the road to recovery. This is the Whitney restaurant. My understanding is this building, I'm not quite far enough back to give you the full view, was built by a gentleman that he made his money in lumber. When Detroit was originally being built, he was a lumber baron. And there's a Majestic Theater. That was his home that he built, and it became a restaurant later. You gotta fact check me. I'm a bit like AI. Don't be shy to check, but that's my understanding at this point. I try, guys. I try. I love Detroit. I know, the world has had a less than wonderful view. See, there's University of Michigan. Now you'll start to see MSU signs. Y'all can fight out who's better there. I know it's an ongoing thing. There's the Q line, the streetcar. Really nice apartments. So up on the right now, I'm going to show you. The right is my side. I'm in the passenger side. Going into the city, you're going to see Little Caesars Arena. Before that, you're going to see the Mike Ilitch School of Business, which is with Wayne State University, one of his legacies he has left for the city. I love Little Caesars Arena. It's such a cool thing. I'm not back quite far enough, but you can see the way they built it. They built the exterior like different buildings, different eras. And it's just the coolest thing. Sorry, I'm getting the snow and everything else. It's so cool. Another great place if you can get to it. All of the arenas, oh, there's a church. All of the arenas and installations downtown, if you will. There's Comerica Park. Beyond that is Ford Field. There's the Fox Theater. So all of the sports installation, sports entertainment in Detroit, the Fillmore, super fun place. So they're great places. Ford Field's one of my favorite places ever. There's the David Whitney building. I shared the other day the inside of that for Christmas. Absolutely awesome. So this is downtown Detroit. We're almost to the... Oh, look. Wait. A church. God bless. There's enough of them in this city. And they're such beautiful architecture. It's staggering the money that must have been spent. So this... I forget who this statue is. There's statues down here. Hans Pringle. So we are going to go, I would say go left here if you can. And then you're going to make a quick right. So there's the Whitney. I believe this area is called Grand Circus. So there's Ford Field in the distance, Comerica Park. Yeah, we're going to make a right here. And this is going to go, got to make a little jog up here, but for the most part, it's going to go directly into the International Tunnel to Windsor. And then we're done for the day. Wow, that place has really come back. I believe that's the Wurlitzer building. It's pretty, isn't it? It is pretty down here. It's not going to be as pretty as my couch this afternoon, but right now it's nice. This is kind of the theater district of Detroit, if there is one. It's a YMCA. So you can see a sign here with the maple leaf in green and the arrow pointing straight. And we're going to go directly into the tunnel. You're in the right turn lane. You're going straight. Like, sorry.
Can't see it in the snow.
Okay. Well, no one's around, so that's good. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Oh, this building. Just let me show you this building. They have these copper horses and riders up on this. This used to be the Wayne County District Court, I believe. Look at that. And then beyond it is the Renaissance Center, and beyond that is the Detroit River that takes us to Canada. All right. I hope you've enjoyed your trip to Detroit, and love to see you again. Please follow, subscribe, send ideas. And we'll talk to you soon. And don't forget, go Lions.